Shahriar Kamali, better known as King Kamali, is a name synonymous with bodybuilding greatness. With his imposing physique, charismatic personality, and a fiercely competitive spirit, Kamali left an indelible mark on the sport during his peak years. His career, characterized by both triumphs and controversies, has made him one of the most talked-about figures in the bodybuilding world. This comprehensive biography delves into his life, career, personal struggles, and legacy. Shahriar Kamali was born on March 29, 1972, in Tehran, Iran. His family, like many Iranians at the time, faced challenges due to the political unrest in the region, leading them to emigrate to the United States when Kamali was a child. The Kamali family settled in Virginia, where young Shahriar quickly adapted to the new culture, but his roots as an immigrant would always shape his perspective. From an early age, Kamali showed an interest in physical activities, excelling in multiple sports throughout his school years. Football, wrestling, and track were his primary interests, but it wasn't until his late teenage years that he discovered his passion for bodybuilding. Inspired by the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger and other iconic figures, Kamali began dedicating his time to sculpting his physique. Kamali's bodybuilding journey began in earnest during his college years at George Mason University, where he studied exercise science. He had a natural talent for building muscle, and it wasn't long before his friends and peers started noticing his rapid physical transformation. Kamali realized he had the potential to pursue bodybuilding on a professional level, and from that point on, he devoted his time to perfecting his craft. One of Kamali's early inspirations was the legendary 1980s and 1990s bodybuilders, particularly Lee Haney and Dorian Yates. He admired their work ethic, discipline, and the intensity they brought to the sport. By studying these champions and learning from their training and diet regimens, Kamali was able to develop a formidable physique that would eventually make him stand out on the professional circuit. Kamali's early years in bodybuilding were marked by participation in local and regional competitions. His breakout moment came in 1994 when he won his first major competition, the NPC Collegiate Nationals. This victory gave him the confidence to pursue bodybuilding professionally. He continued competing in the NPC, National Physique Committee, circuit, steadily climbing the ranks. Kamali's hard work paid off in 1999 when he earned his pro card by winning the NPC Nationals. This marked the beginning of his professional career and signaled his arrival on the global bodybuilding stage. King Kamali earned his nickname not only for his physical prowess, but also for his larger-than-life personality. Known for his outspokenness and brash demeanor, Kamali was never one to shy away from controversy. He believed in promoting himself and his brand. Kamali's first significant showing as a professional was at the 2001 IFBB, International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Night of Champions, where he placed fourth. His performance earned him recognition, but it was his stage presence and the way he engaged with the audience that truly set him apart. Kamali had an understanding of showmanship that few others possessed at the time. In the same year, Kamali competed in the prestigious mr.olympia competition, the most coveted title in bodybuilding. Although he didn't place in the top spots, his appearance at the Olympia solidified his place among the elite in the sport. Over the next few years, Kamali competed in numerous IFBB events, including the Arnold Classic, where he consistently placed within the top 10. Kamali's peak years in bodybuilding spanned from the early 2000s to the mid-2000s. During this time, he was a regular competitor at some of the biggest events in the sport. His impressive combination of size, symmetry, and muscularity made him a crowd favorite, and he developed a loyal fan base. Kamali's training philosophy was rooted in old-school bodybuilding principles, focusing on heavy lifting, intense workouts, and a strict diet. He was known for his brutal leg training sessions, which became legendary in bodybuilding circles. Kamali often emphasized the importance of the mental aspect of training, believing that success in bodybuilding was as much about mental toughness as it was about physical ability. Throughout his career, Kamali maintained an intense rivalry with several other bodybuilders, most notably Craig Titus. Their public feud, fueled by a mix of personal animosity and competitive spirit, was often played out in the media and added to Kamali's notoriety. While some criticized his tactics as overly dramatic, others saw him as a breath of fresh air in a sport that could sometimes be seen as monotonous. Like many athletes in bodybuilding, Kamali's career wasn't without its challenges. As he pushed his body to the limits, he faced injuries that affected his ability to compete at the highest level. In addition to physical challenges, Kamali had to contend with the ever-changing judging criteria in bodybuilding, which often seemed to favor aesthetics over sheer size and muscularity. Kamali was vocal about his frustration with the direction the sport was taking, arguing that bodybuilding was moving away from its roots. He felt that the focus on conditioning and symmetry was detracting from the sport's emphasis on mass and power, which were traits he embodied. Despite these challenges, Kamali continued to compete, but his placings began to decline in the mid-2000s. By 2006, it was clear that his best competitive years were behind him, and he gradually transitioned away from the stage,